going on, everyone? We have to go over AVANTIS because, as you know, the last time we've been talking about AVANTIS, we got listed to none other than Robinhood, but it was at the worst time because as soon as we got listed to Robinhood, literally every single crypto in the crypto market started to crash. Bitcoin went down to 94K. Now it's back to 96. Everything pretty much got liquidated. But today, we are going to talk about where I think we are actually about to go very soon here inside of AVANTIS. So anyway, stick around to the end of the video. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice, but let's go over AVANTIS. So like I was mentioning before here, guys, we're pretty much down on all the time frames here. The volume is getting low, 65 million. It was lower yesterday. All right. And now we also see our market cap is low at only 129 million. So AVANTIS is damn near a low cap right now. Right now, I would say this is like a mid for crypto, for altcoins. This is like a mid cap altcoin, right? But it's still kind of like a low cap when you think about it. But we're noticing that the selling has kind of completely dropped off. You know, it's been trading sideways for a bit. We've really been trading at this price here since the beginning of November. And you can see, even though we got listed to Robinhood recently, like we're still trading around the same level. It doesn't want to dump. There's, it's something weird going on, right? Almost like it is ready to take off. That is literally the only way I can describe it whenever things are flat like this for too long. But the main risk that we run here is Bitcoin, because I made a Bitcoin video previously talking about how I believe Bitcoin is going to have one last drop to 85K. And I've been talking about this for a long time because all of the drops of this bull rally have been 32% drops, followed by some type of bullish patterns. 32% drop followed by a bull flag for the first one. 32% drop followed by a falling wedge, another bearish or bullish pattern for the second one. 32% drop that we're about to do if we go down to 85K, followed by a falling wedge and a bearish expanding triangle. Bearish expanding triangle is bearish, but the falling wedge is bullish. All right. So this is a very interesting case here with Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin drops down to 85K, I highly doubt that AVANTIS won't drop. So there is a possibility there could be one more drop inside of AVANTIS, just like there's a possibility that there could be one more drop in Bitcoin. If Bitcoin drops to 85K, I reckon AVANTIS comes down here to about 40 cents. So if we see Bitcoin drop to 85K, we will probably see AVANTIS drop to about 40 cents and at the very lowest 28 cents. Remember, these are the levels I was talking about way before. I was talking about these levels so long ago, and now here we are talking about them again. So let's just do some math here. If AVANTIS comes down to, let's say, 40 cents, we're only at 103 million market cap, which we're actually almost there, right? Because right now we're trading at 50 cents, right? We're at 50 cents. That's why you're seeing the market cap's at 129 million. You can see it matches up because that's how it is. Now, if Bitcoin gets to, or if AVANTIS gets to 28 cents, we're now only looking at $72 million market cap. There is a possibility that we could still do 28 cents. And I'll tell you why. That is the next strong area of support after 40 cents. So if Bitcoin goes down to 85K, there's a possibility, yes, that we stop at 40 cents. But remember, altcoins drop twice as much as Bitcoin. When Bitcoin drops, altcoins drop twice as much. From current levels right now, we would be looking at a 20% drop, well, 21% drop inside of AVANTIS, as if it goes to 40 cents. Now, if AVANTIS goes all the way down to 28 cents, we're then looking at a 45% drop. So personally, looking at the two percentages, I want to lean more closer towards 40 cents if Bitcoin goes down to 85K, right? Because if you look at this from where we currently are trading at on a Bitcoin, if we go down to 85 cent or 85K, we're looking at a 10% drop. So if Bitcoin has the power and strength to drop 10% more, and we know altcoins are sometimes twice as much likely to drop, like twice as more or 3 times as much, that is where the theory of us going to 28 cents can really come from. Because if Bitcoin really does another 10% down to 85K, there's no telling what something like AVANTIS, a new project, would do. AVANTIS is very new. Like, it has a good use case, but it's very new. So I would not be surprised if AVANTIS went down 44% all the way down to 28 cents. I would not be surprised if it did that. I would not be surprised. So you guys got to be careful. If Bitcoin drops down to 85K, again, that's a 10% drop for Bitcoin. If AVANTIS did twice as much of that, again, that would be 20% drop for AVANTIS. But remember, AVANTIS is not only an altcoin, but it's also a low cap, which makes it high risk. So if Bitcoin drops 85K to 85K, there is a possibility we could see AVANTIS hit 28 cents. So that's really what I'm watching for, guys. So yeah, I'm waiting on the sidelines here. If we hit 28 cents on AVANTIS, I'm probably going to double down, because with them being listed onto Robinhood, if it actually hits this level, that will be super bullish, because you would need very little percentages just to make you would need very little percentages just to make a lot of money, right? So if it goes from 28 cents, right, just back up to 57 cents, that's 100% in gains right there. 100% in gains. So that is actually crazy. But remember, a lot of coins could be looking at the same type of gains if they're solid projects, right? Because I'm watching a lot of different projects. I'm also watching Pudgy Penguins. And let's say we were going to drop here on Pudgy Penguins because of Bitcoin dropping. My eyesight is looking towards 0.008. It just so happens that 0.008 is also like a 40% drop compared to AVANTIS. AVANTIS is also looking at a 40% drop going down to 28 cents. So I think most of the projects might be looking at that. If there's one last drop, we might see another, 40 something, 8%, right? But it could be a good thing. It really could be a good thing. A lot of people aren't looking at it from that perspective, because if you have dry powder, if you have cash on the sidelines, this could be a good thing. Because let's say you got in even to something like Pudgy Penguins solo, and imagine it gets back up to 1.5. So a lot of projects are looking at enormous gains if Bitcoin pulls back to 85K. But I don't think there's going to be a traditional altcoin season. I think if Bitcoin pulls back to 85K, when everything starts to recover, I feel like that's going to be the altcoin season. And this is going to be what traps people. People are going to be waiting for an altcoin season once Bitcoin recovers and starts making new all-time highs. My opinion, altcoin season is already here and we're already going through it. It's just a new altcoin season. It's the altcoin season where only the solid projects pump alongside Bitcoin. And then when Bitcoin's done, those coins are done as well. So that's what people got to realize. Also, privacy coins. We've had altcoin season for privacy coins, but this altcoin season isn't going to be as significant as others. Institutional investors are making sure of that. They're focusing their money on the big projects, and it seems like they're shorting the altcoins. That's kind of what it seems like. But anyways, this is all I got for that, guys. As for this is still a falling wedge, which is a bullish pattern. We could still break out to the upside. But remember, if Bitcoin goes down lower, I'm betting that it's invalidated and it goes down lower. Not only are we in a falling wedge, which is a bullish pattern here, we're also trading inside of a descending triangle. So a descending triangle is a bearish pattern. So we have a bullish pattern and we have a bearish pattern. That's crazy, right? So like we got like a 50-50 chance at this point. But I think descending triangles have higher win rates than falling wedge. But either way, we should see something coming soon for Bitcoin. If Bitcoin breaks down, we'll see AVANTIS break down as well. So just remember those levels, 40 cents and 28 cents. Those are both of the levels that you want to watch out for. I think I'm probably going to lean more. I'm leaning more towards a drop. I've been in the markets for a long time, and I've seen a lot of stuff like this. I truly feel like it's going to drop some more. Like, I've just seen this pattern play out too many times, and I've been on the bullish side of this too many times, and I've lost too many times on patterns just like this. I think that this right here is going to be a drop. So let me know what you guys think. Hit the like button and subscribe, all that good stuff. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Go ahead and become a member of the channel, all that good stuff. And as always, I'll be back with another video.